We are ensuring that our students will get the support and instruction they need this summer to continue learning. Learning will take place remotely and is organized to account for different grade bands. I'll walk everyone through that now. So, for our students in grades 3 through 8, summer learning will take place 4 days a week for a total of 6 weeks. This will either be on a required or recommended basis, and that is because teachers will make the determination based on each student's full year of progress. Students will also have check-ins with guidance counselors so that someone is always keeping a pulse on how they are doing in this remote learning environment. And it's summer, so we'll be incorporating things that students enjoy into the virtual experience, including social-emotional learning activities and virtual field trips. So, that is for grades 3 through 8. In grades 9 through 12, for our high schoolers, it'll be just a little different. The schedule for summer learning will be 5 days per week for a total of 6 weeks. Students will have up to 5 hours of instruction daily in subjects they received a course in progress mark for, or if they failed in a prior semester. Like elementary and middle school students, these students will also have one-on-one check-ins and important enrichment activities as well. Again, we want to make sure that students are being supported not only academically, but in their social-emotional needs as well. For students with disabilities, our students with 12-month individual education plans will receive instruction and related services 5 days a week for a total of 6 weeks. This is also the same frequency that has happened in every other summer as well. Students will also get daily instruction and related services that are aligned to their individual education plan and remote learning plan. Students will also have check-ins with counselors and with other staff so that someone is always keeping a pulse on how they are doing as well in this remote learning environment. And as the students, these students will also enjoy the same opportunities for virtual field trips, social-emotional learning activities that their peers are receiving in the other grades as well.
So I'm just curious, like, how more remote learning will help? Like, will it be different at all from what students were getting during the regular school year? And two, you talked a little bit about situations where it could be mandatory and situations where it wouldn't. Can you just spell out a little bit more clearly, like, when this will be mandatory and when it won't?
A lot of kids, the disruption, the having to get used to a new model, there's a certain amount of drag, there's a certain amount of acclimation, and that's true for all of us. Educators getting in the swing of it, parents getting in the swing of it, kids getting in the swing of it. Also, a lot of kids, as we said, didn't have the technology, we had to get it to them. But I think it's really true to say with every passing week, everyone's learning how to do it better. So if a young person couldn't get done everything they needed to do, but we have, more time and a more flexible approach that we can apply in that time, it stands to reason that you're going to see additional gains.
The people who know their students best are parents, teachers, and principals. So the recommendations as to who is required to attend summer learning and who is recommended is going to be that individual analysis that teachers in communication with parents are having in terms of their child's academic progress. There are some students that will be required to attend summer learning. For example, students that at the end of the term are recommended for non-promotion, they'll be required to go to summer learning. Students at the high school level that have an in-progress classification will be required to go to summer learning. But there are others, and to your question, that communication, that back and forth between parents and teachers could lead to a student being recommended because they have more gaps to fill or they have more learning that they need to do.
I wondered if the projection of students in grades 3 to 8, much higher than those who were managed to attend summer school last year, if that's an indication that some students have fallen very far behind during the pandemic, during remote learning.
Yeah, Emily, I think it's quite clear that you take away months of the school year in the much more effective setting of everyone being together in a school building where teachers can use all of their skills to maximum impact. Of course it's going to have an impact. But what is important is how much ground has been made up by kids, by parents, by educators in the meantime, And it's actually very striking to me. I think this is, very legitimate glass half full, how many kids manage to keep going and keep learning so effectively. It would be harder, and some kids would have to need more time and more help. But the fact is, here's the good side of the equation with distance learning. It's very flexible. You can do it, different times of day. You can do it weekends. You can do it summer. And so it's going to give us that catch-up opportunities.
Can you provide details of the pre-recorded lesson component and address possible concerns that kind of approach won't really engage students?
The learning modality over the summer will be a mixture of live learning, virtual learning, and some pre-recorded learning as well. But our focus is to have as much live learning as possible. In the education speak, we call it synchronous learning.